my friend. It's Miss Becky from Speech. How are you? I'm doing pretty well. What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at? Oh, are you laughing at me? Are you laughing at my hair? Well, I got bored and wanted a different hairstyle. What do you think? It's kind of rainbow colors. Why not, right? It's a lot easier to take care of. I just pop it on my head every morning. Yeah. So today we are going to go through our speech sounds and also talk about the letters, the letter names. Then we have some questions and then we have a book. Are you ready to get to work? Let's do it. So we'll go through and say the sound and then we're actually going to say the letter also. Are you ready? Here we go. And what letter is this? Yeah, M. Good job. B. And what letter is it? B. P. Are you saying the sounds? Good. And what letter is it? P. W. W. F. What letter is that? Yeah, F. V. What letter is it? V. This is two letters together. T, H. I have this one underlined because it makes more of a sound than this one. So we turn our voice on V. But it's also T and H. T. What letter is it? T, yeah. D. What letter is it? D. N. N. O. What letter is it? L. Yeah. S. What letter is it? S. Z. What letter is that? Z. Yeah, it comes at the very end of the alphabet. Sh. And this is two letters together. S, H. This one it sounds really similar to this one, but we turn our voice on. Zh. And those letters are Z and H. You won't really see this in a word in terms of a Z and an H, but you hear it at the end of a word like beige. Yeah, it doesn't come up too often. Ch. C, H. J. J, yeah. Y. What letter is that? Y. What letter is that? Yeah, R. K. What letter is it? K. G. G. H. What letter is that? H. Good job. So my name is Becky. So at the beginning of my name is B, Be, and then at the end is K, Key. Now, some of the books that I like to read with you are about Peppa and George. So let's find the letters that might be in Peppa's name. Pe, Yeah, she has two of those puh sounds. Puh, puh. And George is actually spelled with a G, but it makes the J sound. So it would be George. Sometimes that's tricky when the letter is different than the sound that it makes. Very nice job. Are you ready to work on some questions today? Let's get to it. Okay, I had to go back to my normal hair. That wig is heavy. Okay, so we are going to do some questions about who. Now, some of these will be new things for you, and that is okay. All right? Try to make that a little bit brighter. There we go. So, if it's something that you don't know, that's okay, because that's what we're here to do, is learn, right? We're going to learn together today. All right, so our first question is, who checks and cleans your teeth? Who do you go to look at your teeth? The dentist. So we can say, who do you go to see about your teeth? The dentist. Nice job. All right. Who puts out fires? Who puts out fires? A firefighter. And what do they drive? Yeah, they usually drive a big red fire truck, don't they? Those fire trucks can be really loud. I think they're pretty cool though. Now this one may be new for you, but we're going to learn together today. Who keeps your school clean? So when you are at preschool or daycare or school, who keeps your school clean? That person has a specific name. It's a long name, a custodian. So let's try to say that word. We're going to break it up a little bit, okay? Custodian. Whoa, 4 different sections in that word. Let's try it again. Custodian. One more time. Custodian. Yeah. So who keeps your school clean? A custodian. Nice job. Who delivers mail? A mail carrier. It's really fun to get mail, isn't it? Yeah. Where is the mailbox at your house? Is it right by your front door? Is it at the end of your driveway? Or is it in another location where you have to go and open a box with a key? If you don't know, you can ask your family where your mail is delivered. This may be another one that you're unfamiliar with. Who repairs cars and trucks? Who repairs cars and trucks? A mechanic. So if someone in your family needs their car or truck fixed, they might take it to a mechanic. Let's say that word, mechanic. 3 sounds in that word, mechanic. Yeah. So that's who they would take a car to have it fixed. Who helps people when they are sick? So who do you go to if you are sick? A doctor. Yeah, a doctor. Have you been to a doctor before? helps us when we get lost? A police officer. They can help us. We could also say who keeps the law. That would be a police officer. All right, let's do two more. Who makes cakes and pies and cookies? Now, somebody in your family might make those. So you could say your mom or your dad or your aunt or your sister or brother. But when somebody does that for a job, we call them a baker. We'll do one more. Who paints pictures? Who paints pictures? An artist. We call that person an artist. Now, I could say, who paints pictures? And you might say, I do. That's okay. You can be an artist too. Nice job with those questions today. I hope you were able to learn a few things that maybe you didn't already know. And you got to practice some really long words too, didn't you? Yeah. Okay, let's get to our book. This book is called George Catches a Cold. Have you ever had a cold? Yeah. It's no fun, is it? Mommy Pig says George and Peppa can play in the rain, but they must wear rain clothes to keep dry. So who told Peppa and George they could play in the rain? Yeah, Mommy Pig did. But George hates wearing his rain hat, so he has thrown it in a muddy puddle. Peppa knows that is not a good idea. So who threw their hat in the muddy puddle? Who did that? It was George. He did not make a good choice. Come inside, children, calls Daddy Pig. It's raining too hard now. Where's your hat, George? Asks Mommy Pig. Achoo! Replies George. So who told Peppa and George to come inside? Let's read that sentence again. Come inside, children, calls Daddy Pig. It's raining too hard now. So who told them to come inside? Yeah, it was Daddy Pig. Oh dear, George has caught a cold. Achoo! George cannot stop sneezing. Poor little George, says Mommy Pig. You don't look very well. Don't worry, I'll call Dr. Brown Bear, says Daddy Pig. So who caught a cold? Who has a cold? George. I don't think he's feeling very well. Will George go to the hospital? Asks Peppa. No, George has to go to bed, replies Daddy. So George is not truly sick then, says Peppa, disappointed. George, you have to stay in bed until you're better, says Daddy Pig. Why? Asks George. Because you have to keep warm, says Daddy. So who told George to stay in bed? Yeah, Daddy Pig told him that. Dr. Brown Bear is here to see George. Open wide and say, ah, he says. George is a little afraid of Dr. Brown Bear. He hides under his sheets with Mr. Dinosaur. So who came to see George? Dr. Brown Bear. Dr. Brown Bear asks Peppa to show George that he does not have to be scared. Ah, said Peppa. George laughs and comes out from under his sheets. He opens his mouth so Dr. Brown Bear can look. Ah, says George. So who showed George that he didn't have to be afraid? Peppa did. Yeah, she helped him feel better. George has caught a cold, said Dr. Brown Bear. He can have some warm milk at bedtime to help him sleep. Thank you, Dr. Brown Bear, says Mommy Pig. You're welcome. Goodbye, says Dr. Brown Bear before driving off in his special white car. The next morning, George wakes up early. The warm milk made him sleep very well. Roar! Cries George, waking up Peppa. He is feeling much better. It's a lovely sunny day, but George is wearing his rain hat. He does not want to catch another cold. Oh, George, you don't need to wear your hat when it's warm and sunny, Mommy Pig tells him. Hee hee hee. Everyone laughs. In this picture, who's wearing a hat? Yes, George is wearing a hat. And who is holding a ball? Peppa. Peppa is holding the ball. George never goes in the rain without his hat again. The end. So let's think back through that story. Who caught a cold? George did. Yeah. And who drove a white car? They came to see George and they left in a white car. Do you remember who that was? Let me show you the picture. Yeah, Dr. Brown Bear. He left in the white car, didn't he? Yeah. So this week, when you're with your family, you can talk about who does certain things. Sometimes maybe somebody in your family might say, who ate all the cookies? What if it's you? That happens sometimes. Maybe somebody in your family could ask you, who called on the phone? Who came by to visit? If you come home from school, they might say, who did you play with today? So in your life, you can think of who does certain things. And when people have certain jobs, they typically have some kind of name. Like, who teaches you at school? Your teacher. Who sings or plays an instrument? A musician. So sometimes we have labels like that, and sometimes the answers to our questions are just the names of people we know. Who grocery shops at your house? Maybe it's your dad or your grandmother. So this week in your house, talk about who does things. And if you don't know who, you can ask your family. You worked so hard today. Thanks so much. Bye.